Hello, Gary Champion, psychic medium with horoscopes for everybody, or everyone, or whatever. Anybody that's awake. I used to have a script for this, and I always say there's no script for this, and I'm just freewheeling it. And here it says script. So I'm going to read this script for the first time in a long time. Hello, I'm Gary Champion. Oh, and my wife she used to help me do this thing. And there's a place where she said her name. She would pull a card. It says, thanks for visiting and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are not astrologers, but I'm a psychic medium. Oh, I had my wife there. Readings can include work, finances, love, and relationships or general messages. I've forgotten all this. Remember, astrological sign predictions are for a large group of people and may not resonate with everyone. For a personal reading, please go to my website, www.garychampion.com. See, that's covering your ass, saying that it's for a large group of people, may not resonate with everyone. I think I probably stole that from someone. I don't think I invented that little phrase there. I think I was watching some other people do some astrological predictions. The problem with watching other people and their astrological predictions is like they're 15 minutes babbling. They don't say anything. They just babble. Blah, 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 blah. And then finally they give you something. But the damn thing's an hour long. Who can listen to that? So we get started where I don't do what they're doing. Aries. Calls for alarm, protect yourself at all costs. I believe someone is working against you in your efforts to, you're pulling on the cat's tail, they're saying. So you're making somebody angry by, you know, as a kid, you can play with a cat's tail and that it has to do this, it has to do that, and do that. And if you stop it or grab a hold of it, eventually they claw you. Give you a claw. So be forewarned. You're pulling on some cat's tail, and at some point they're likely to bite you. I never heard that before. Taurus, bullish on America, but not too soon. Things are going to come back. It's just going to take time. If you've taken a loss, you need to hold where you're at. Things will get better. Everything's come to a standstill, seems like. Production will rise soon. It sounds like someone who's manufacturing something. You're gifted and you have a good heart. Sounds too personal, doesn't it? Gemini. Fighting the good fight will not help if at the end of the fight you're too tired to carry on. Don't expend all your energy fighting the good fight. You need your strength for what is to come. Don't expend all of your energy. Hold on to a bunch of it. Maybe let some things pass right now. There's chaos out there anyway. What could it matter? Little things don't. Cancer. There's a song written by some group years ago. It says, "You're down in Mississippi and up to no good." I can't remember the name of the group, but I'm down in Mississippi and up to no good. Are you up to no good? Are you doing and planning things maybe you shouldn't be doing? Keep to yourself during this time. Really don't want to say anything, because if you do, you're exposing yourself and letting people know what's going on with you that you don't want them to know. They're showing me someone who's playing cards and keeps them close to the vest. Remember that old saying? He plays his cards close to the vest. That means you don't hold them out for everybody to see. Good players really, they don't pick the cards up very much. And like in the old poker game you see in saloons in the Old West. They're just sitting there with the cards out. Well, you're showing your hand to somebody. So be careful. Ooh, lots of warnings today. Leo, is it possible you're absent within the group and actually are there, but you're not participating? You're not emotionally involved in the group? It must be a family of some kind. That you're there, but you're not really involved with the family in a positive way. You restrict um, you need to engage yourself in the family, because when you're not emotionally there, it's a signal to other people that you're leaving. And you may not be leaving, but it gives the wrong signal to people that you're not interested, and you should be interested. All the time, these are strange. Virgo, try not to be overly optimistic. Things are going to go well for you because you have the understanding necessary to make things happen. And are you training someone to be like you, or are you mentoring somebody in some way? If you are, be careful. I think they want your job. You know how the company will hire you and then get you to train people, and then they don't need you anymore. That's sort of what it feels like. Libra, leaps and bounds, leaps and bounds. You're going to jump ahead leaps and bounds. And I don't know why someone's saying bleach. It must mean for you to clean things with bleach. I don't like that sound at all. But you're about to make a big leap forward. You've held yourself in reserve long enough. Now's the time to get out there and kick it. You know everything everybody else knows. Don't hold yourself back. Isn't that odd? In most things in life, we're our own biggest enemy. We tend to hold ourselves back from being successful. And it's psychological. It doesn't have any real world meaning. It's psychological. I've done it myself. Didn't want to be successful because then you'd have all the craziness that comes with that. And you go through a period of time, 20, 30 years of not being famous, and then you all of a sudden you think you want to be famous. Strange. Scorpio. Now's not the time to attack. Now's the time to sit and wait. Soon your time will come. There's some old alley cat around you hiding, not speaking the truth. They're always lying about something. And the funny thing is, you know it, but you don't call them on it. You know, that's a big fat lie. There's no truth in that. Maybe you should call this person on one of them. Maybe they'd stop doing it. Sagittarius, bountiful returns. You've taken necessary steps to secure happiness. Don't push too hard, though, because it kind of comes unraveled. This is something that's happening kind of on its own. When you push it too hard, it crumbles. The future's good if you don't push too hard. Basically, that's what I think they're saying. Capricorn, steady climb upward. It says you're climbing a mountain you've climbed before, many times before, and it just seems that you're trying to prove yourself in some way. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. But you climb the mountain, and once you've gotten there, you let go. And at some point, you have to climb the mountain again to prove yourself. It's all about proving yourself. Everybody knows you've got what it takes. Everybody knows. Except sometimes you don't know. Aquarius. It's time to start looking for someone new. That's just, that's not exactly what they're saying, but it's close enough. You stood by somebody too long, and it's proving to be not healthy for you. So it's time for you to relieve yourself of this person. Could be a job as well. And personal issues abound. This is something you love, but it's time to move on. You've gotten everything you can get out of it, and right now you're just stalling around. Stop stalling around. Pisces, a little fishy. You're swimming in circles. You're not getting anywhere. All you're seeing is your own tail. You think maybe there's another fish up there, so you're swimming in circles, you see your own tail. Going round and round. There's times for that, for circling. When you're waiting for something to happen, it's a good time. But now's not the time to be circling. Now's the time to figure it out, fix it, and move on. Circling signals to other people that you don't know what you're doing. In this case, it'd be wrong. You do know what you're doing. You're circling, hoping that things get better. Interesting. The world is full of doubtful people. It just is. It's the nature of it. We're strong as people. We'll get past this. We'll move on. But right now, what we have in our country are haters. They sprung up from everywhere to say awful things about people. They'd like to say that one group of people is caused this virus. It's a decade old. I mean, decades and decades and centuries. I'm sure back in Roman times, someone blamed the same people for why their problems were. Why? Because they need a scapegoat. These alternative people are not a good place to place this. If you want to blame Jewish people, black people, LGBT, people who own submarines, whatever kind of group, niche group that these hate groups come out and say, let's blame them, because then it gets it off of. And really, these people who are hate groups, they don't do anything to make the economy better or to make the world better. They're just haters. That's what they live on, stirring up controversy and trying to make a profit off of it. This is no one's fault. Why would this be someone's fault? But you hear it, you see it written places. Why would this? Why do you think you can attribute this virus to a particular group? It's hitting them as hard as it is you. Are you stupid? Can't blame the Chinese. They created it. Yeah, they didn't do it on purpose. Why? Because their numbers, death-wise, are huge. They're not tiny. They're hiding them. And their infection rate is something they're hiding. In America, we're not hiding our infection rate. We just don't know what it is because we don't have test kits, which should have been made available early. If we had had these tests, I'd have been the first one in line to check, see if I had it or not. I'm quarantined now anyway, but it would give me a handle on whether I should go someplace. If my wife tests negative, then she can go to the store and get groceries. If I test negative, I can go to the store and get groceries. I can involve myself in things in the neighborhood because I'm virus free. Instead, we're wondering. So no one group created this. You can go ahead and blame them if you want to. It just shows your ignorance. This virus has no favorites. It doesn't say, ooh, let's not attack them. That's our favorite group. No. It's attacking indiscriminately is the word I'm hearing from the other side. Indiscriminately. It has no allegiance to anybody. So stop blaming anybody you want to blame for it. Now, the fact that it's gotten out of hand and has created more destruction than it should have, that you can blame people for. Because they stood around, sat on their hands, and didn't do anything. But where it came from, just purely accidental. It's not. It's their fault, but they didn't create it on purpose. Just saying. Let's try not to hate anybody if we can in this. Hate divides, love brings us together. Hate divides, love brings us together. Stop hating. Give it up. I don't know why, but I tacked that on the end of the horoscope thing. Hope you don't mind. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.